So thank you for your time this morning. The reason that I've asked you to join me is to share with you how you will work with the support team starting Monday morning, the 23rd. My name's Julie Pearson. I am the head of our operations team. So all of the tools that we go over today, it's my team's responsibility to keep them working. I will show you how you can submit questions and thoughts to us as well as we go through the demo of the support center. I'm going to be showing you how you can access knowledge base articles. The team has been really busy creating articles so that you don't necessarily have to wait on us for an answer. We'll go over how you create a case with the team, how you can go in and take a look at the status of the case and actually update it. You will also have available chat functionality. And then I want to show you as well how you can submit enhancement ideas to the engineering team. Before we go any further, I do want to point out this is typical Zoom session. So you should see a Q&A button down at the bottom of the screen. If you have questions while I'm going through things, please do type them in and I'll be checking periodically and answer them as we go through this. So how do you get to this new tool? All you need to remember is support.deltek.com. And then you'll notice on this page, there is a username and a password. The username, we seed the acquisitions with your work email address, all lowercase. We don't set a password for you. I'm going to show you in just a moment how you actually set your password. So as of Monday, the 23rd, this is where you'll go with the initial setup by Deltek of your users into here. It'll be your work email address, all lowercase, as your username. But as time goes on and you guys are managing and administering for your companies, you can choose to set the username to whatever you would like for folks that you're going to add to the site. So this is what the login help page looks like. Let's actually go out and work with that. This page. So here we are on the login page, and you just need to remember support.deltek.com. It will get you here. The very first time you log in, you have to request a temporary password. So you click that login help button. And then here in the reset your password, type in your username, which will be your work email address, all lowercase. We will be sending an email this afternoon with your username and the roles, which I'll get into in a bit, that give you different access in the support center. But we, as I say, for the initial seed into the system, we do start with your work email address, lowercase. I keep stressing lowercase because the username and the password are both case sensitive. So you type that in, you click send, and you'll get an email from us. If you don't get that email or you have other questions about, getting into the support center, you can use this little login assistant button. You click that and it's a bot, but for this purpose, because you want to talk to somebody about getting in, you can just click this chat with a live analyst or type live chat. We're going to ask for a couple things from you so that if we have to get back to you, we can. The first of which is your email address. Then the next thing it's going to ask, and see, it recognizes that I cheated. It's going to ask for your name, and it's going to ask for your company name. Then what it's doing is it's looking for one of my team to actually help you with this. It'll sit here. There we go. So Marion is working with us. You're going to type in whatever your question is, and you'll be able to work with them. When you're done, letting Marion go so she can help other real customers, you just click this X button and it ends the session. So at this point, you should have a password. You'll go ahead and you'll click this little return to login page icon. You'll type in your username, which initially should be your work email, and then your password that we give you. This is temporary in nature, so it's good for one use and it's good for 24 hours only. Type that in, and this is what it will roll you into. This is the homepage for the support center. I'm going to go back to the deck and see if I've forgotten to tell you anything. Let's see here. So we talked about the other thing you can do if you don't know what your username is, you didn't get the email, you can, the first box on that login help page, you can fill in your email address and click send. And as long as we have you on file, we'll email back what your username is. And then you would need to come in and ask for a password. So let's go back to the support center. First thing that we're going to do is go in and set a permanent password, because remember, what we send you is just temporary in nature. Excuse me. It's good for 24 hours and it's only good for one login. So first time in, you're going to come to this little options cog and you're going to go to my account and you're going to go to the password tab and you're going to put in the temporary one that we sent you, and then you're going to enter what you want your password to be. It can be letters, upper, lower, and numbers. Please don't use special characters here. The support center doesn't play well with those as a password. And you'll go ahead and confirm it, and you'll click update password. The time frame that this will be good for is 6 months. In this day and age of security consciousness, your organization may require you to change your password more frequently. You can. It's just if you let it go for 180 days or 6 months, we are going to make you change this password. Username. So if you do not want it to be your work email address, you can come in here and change it. Profile. This is what we know about you. Good reason that you may need to come in here is if your company changes your domain, so your email needs to change or your name changes. Password we went over. Communities I will be showing you in a bit, but that is a social media space. And this information is what you want to display to other community users. Preferences. So this hide support notifications, it defaults to no. And what this is about is periodically the engineering team is going to want to make sure you're aware of different things. So when they do that, you're going to have this little notification box pop up in the middle of the screen. You'll also see when a notification comes out, this little orange box with a number in it. If you do not want those notifications to pop up and be front and center, you can change the radio button to yes, as I have. It doesn't get rid of the notifications because that little box with the number of notifications that you have will continue to show between your name and that options cog, but it just doesn't put it in your face. So it defaults to a no. It would do that initially. This is how you can make it so that it's not like that. Show community contact information. So all of the information that you choose to put in the community, this is if you want that to display for the other users in the TIP community space. And then this preferred language, if English is not your native language, you can choose to change the support center, not how the staff speak with you, but the support center can be represented in one of these languages. We use Google Translate, and so it's probably like 90% accurate. And those are the options. The one you have to do is changing your password the very first time. Navigationally, this header section will be with you regardless of what page you're on in the support center. If you want to go back to the home page, which we're going to do now, you can just click anywhere in this Deltek support center and it takes you back to the home page. You also will always be able to get to this navigation menu by clicking on it, and then you can go to any of the spots that you have access to. The homepage itself, that center section, those are the things that typically our users commonly use. And then this right section, this is all about you. I want to take a few moments. Let's see here. Yeah, we did talk about the hamburger menu, being able to return to the home page by clicking on the words. We went into account management, talked about what you do there, and that you must reset your password initially. So these are the roles. We'll do a little acronym soup here. These are the roles that govern what you see on the support center. The primary support contacts are individuals who can make legal changes with Deltek about your organization. And the way that we've set this up is to set your billing contacts as your primary support contact. I do know that some of you have existing Deltek products, and if that's the case, we aren't going to set the primary support contact. We'll just set the others. If you are new to the Deltek family, then your billing contact will have that designation. Support contact managers are the folks who can add people from your organization to get into the support center and set these roles. We are going to make everybody that's created a case in the past 2 years with your TIP team a support contact manager, as well as being an authorized support contact. These AFCs are the folks that can actually interact with the support team. Then an online user is everybody that has access to the support center. And in just a moment, I'll show you how you can toggle that on and off. So that's acronym soup. If you've created a case with us, you're going to be set as an SCM and an ASC. As I mentioned earlier, we will be sending emails this afternoon with that information, your username and what roles you've been assigned to. We'll also send an email Monday morning to let you know that, in fact, the transition is complete, and we'll include that information then as well. So here we are back on the support center, and I want to talk about now, if you're that SCM role, how you go in and add new users, modify users, and remove users. So if you have that SCM or support contact manager role, you're going to see the administer box. You'll also find in the menu, scroll down a bit and you'll see this administer section. Going into manage company contacts from here or here does the same thing. It takes you over and it's going to start by showing you the folks that we have set up for your organization. If this isn't right and you want to modify somebody, you just click anywhere in the row and it will go ahead and open their record. The things that I'm going to show you here are the same with the add contact. So if you want to add somebody, you would click the add contact link and then come in and fill in this information. Everything that's got the red asterisk when you're entering somebody new will be required. These are how you set the roles. And remember I said primary support contact can actually make legal changes with Deltek staff. So you want to be judicious in who you assign that role. I want to point out as well, you see this little bubble with the question mark? This is standard on the support center. And what that will do when you click it is just give you more information about the field that you're getting ready to enter something. Privacy contacts, in this day and age, we want to make sure that your firm is aware of how we are protecting your privacy. And on an annual basis, we will let you know if we've changed any of our rules of engagement, as well as giving you a link to more information. So if you're set to a yes, you're going to get that annual email. If you're not, then we won't, make sure that you are aware of that. So that might be one thing as you get into the support center that you confirm who that contact is. Remember I said online support contacts. If you have access to the support center, this will be a yes. If, however, you've got somebody that will be going on a short-term leave and you don't want them to worry about work and you don't want them to be into the support center, you can change that radio button to a no, and it disables their login, but it's going to leave this person in your company view. So when we entered this page and we saw all of our users, you would see them there, just online contact would be a no. If, on the other hand, this person has left your organization and you never want them to get into the support center again, use this remove contact. What that does is it disables the user, but it also removes them from your view. So it's not cluttering up who has access to the site since you've totally gotten rid of them. If this person would come back to your firm and you would give them that same email address, you would need to work with my team to get them reactivated. Authorized support contacts, those are the folks that are going to be able to work with support. Support contact managers are the folks that are going to be able to come in here and add people to the site. This download corrections, for all of our on-premise customers, you need to download patches from Deltek. We have not transitioned you yet to our tool called Deltek Software Manager. So this radio button isn't applicable yet. You will continue to get patches for the software as you've done in the past. When we move you to the Deltek Software Manager, we'll let you know that transition has happened, and then this would be applicable, download corrections. This view all cases, and I'll show you what this really means in the manage cases, but if you have this set to a yes, it means this person can see every case that's been opened in your organization. We default that generally to a no, and it only lets them have visibility into their cases. Once you've made your changes, you just go ahead and click that update contact button, and it will take you back then to the home page. I'm going to go back to our deck and see if I've forgotten to tell you anything. We went through a lot of information about how you set up your users and what they can do. You don't need to memorize that. I am recording, and I will send a link in the Monday email with a copy of a link to the recording. But that information that we've covered is in Knowledge Base Article 36134, and I will show you how you can look that article up. All righty, let's get to why you are all here. How do you reach the support team? If you have that ASC role, you're going to find this submit a case, initiate a chat, and manage cases icons. You'll also find that in the hamburger menu over here under support. So regardless of which way you go, this is the page that will take you to. The first thing you'll notice is that you'll select a product. We haven't enabled your tip products yet on the site, so I'm working with a Computeries dummy account. That's another Deltek product. But I also mentioned that you could create cases with my team, so you can pick Support Center here. And then you can specify what your commentary is about. If it's communities or that download manager that you will eventually be using. General is just about the site, and then knowledge search would be how the articles work. You could pick one of those and then fill in the information. I am going to demo against the product, but it's the same principles for the support center. For your tip, I believe that we've set it up so that it's either tip QA or tip SFE under this subproducts. You'll pick whichever one is relevant. Over time, that subproducts will mostly grow so that you can specify, which module in the product your question is about. The reason that we will be expanding that is over time, we will be cross-training staff so that you'll have more than just 3 people that are able to work with you. So by picking the appropriate subproduct, it's just going to route you to an expert more quickly. Environment, it's just to kind of help us understand where your issue is and the immediacy of the need. Severity level is the other thing that will indicate the immediacy of your need. And remember that little bubble with a question mark will tell us more about the field. Let's go take a look at what this means. We've got 4 different severity levels that we rate your case. A Sev 1 means that your system is down and nobody can get in. When that is the case, we are, going to get back to you just as quickly as we can, generally under 1 hour. But it also means that if you have a case rated as a SEV1 and we need to call you back, we would expect that you will be immediately available to us as well. If you're not, we may choose to downgrade your severity. A SEV2 is something that is impacting many people at your organization, and it is going to start causing you a material impact or money if we don't get it fixed soon. We, strive to meet these just as quickly as the SEV1s, but it's that 2-hour time frame that we go for. And then we expect as well that you will be available to us in the same time frame, or we may choose to downgrade. Generally, your questions to us are going to fall into this 3 and this 4. A 4 really is a question. I thought I would try this, and this is what I, expect. Is that right? Whereas a 3 is, I did this, this happened, and that is not what I expected. So it's either a question or you get an error. That would also constitute a SEV3. So you'll go ahead and you'll set your severity. We do default it to a 4. Issue type, over time, as we get more specialization built, this will have more relevance. Generally, it's going to be an application type of question. This summary line, we ask that you give us a very brief description of the issue. If you are getting an error number or an error message, that would be good to put in here. I'm just going to put in AP posting because I know that there's articles about that. This detail, this is where you tell us, I did this, then I did this, then I saw this. So it explains to us what the situation is. If you have files, screenshots that support and clarify what your issue is, you can click that choose files, and it's a Windows world, so you would go ahead and pick the file and it would attach it. This CC, you can include the email address of folks in your organization that you want to be aware of this case. So you'll put in their email address. If there's multiples, you would separate by the semicolon. Once you get that all filled in, you click this continue button. The very first thing it does is it takes a look at that summary to see if we can already give you an answer, so you don't have to wait on us. We will give you what we feel are the top 5 potential answers. You can click on it and go take a look. If that answers your question, you can just click this, my question is answered, and it stops this whole process. If, on the other hand, it doesn't, click finish submitting a case. What it's doing is it's putting the information out into our system, and it's assigning a case for you. So this number, that's your case number now. It's a big number, but really logically, the first 6 digits break down to be the date. So it's year, month, and day. And then the next 6 digits are just sequentially assigned throughout the course of the day. So for us, this is the case that's been assigned. This table shows you Deltek's response times back to you based upon the severity. If you own other Deltek products, your tip cases will fall into whichever care plan you have today. If you are new to the Deltek family, we classify you as a legacy customer, which just means that you're going to be able to do everything with the support team that you did in the past, but these are the time frames. We do have a link to the managed cases, and I'm going to take you there, but you can also just go either to the homepage by clicking in these words, or you can go do the next thing that you wanted to do. For this demonstration, though, we are going to go back to the managed cases, and that will show us where we can update and whatnot. I see we have a question. I can tell you that the same tip support staff are who you will continue to work with if you've, so that will not change. At this point in time, the folks that you are used to working with is who you will work with on Monday. The only thing that's changing is how you reach them. If you go to the current tiptech.com support page, it's going to redirect you to the support center. So here's the managed cases. And you'll notice this first one, this is the case that we just created. I want to take a few moments to talk about the statuses. So when it's set to a new, that just means that you created your case, but we have not assigned an analyst to it. As soon as we assign somebody to the case, it's going to change to an in progress status. If we need more information from you to progress your case, you're going to find the status will be changed to client action required. If you see cases with that status, you want to open them up, see what we're needing from you, and provide the next pieces of information for us. As soon as you do that, it's going to change the case to updated by client. And what that does is notifies the analyst that owns your case that you have in fact provided us more information. And so the ball is back in our court. The next two are just internal, where we're working with other folks at Deltek to figure out your issue. This resolved pending confirmation is another status that indicates we are waiting on you. And in this instance, it means that we've provided you with an answer that we feel corrects the situation, but we want you to confirm that. So once again, you need to get in, take a look, and I'll show you how, if in fact it did fix it, how you can close your own case. And then this closed status, either you or Deltek can set it to that value. So to get in and update a case, you just click anywhere in this line and it will open the case. The very first field up here that you'll find, this is current satisfaction on the case. You can tell us during the life of your case if we are not doing what you need so that you can escalate it to us. You can also let us know that we're doing a wonderful job, which that is just as important because it tells us, the staff, that we want to make sure we model best behaviors, best practices after. But if it's not going, you know, it's not bad, but it's not good, so you're in that neutral place, or if it really is not going like you need it, click either the yellow guy or the red guy. You're going to get this feedback box. You're going to tell us what's not going right. You're going to click this update case satisfaction, and it will notify the analyst that owns your case, but it will also email our management team so that we can get with the program and do what it needs to be done for you. Within the case itself, if you want to close the case, you can hit this drop down and you can pick the second option, my case has been resolved. So a good, you know, if it's resolved pending confirmation, if it works, our suggestion fixes your issue, you can change the status to this. It closes the case. It lets the analyst know that you're good to go and that, you know, we can go ahead and be focusing on other customer questions. If, however, it's still an open issue, don't change that field and it will leave it so that it will change the status to updated by client when we come out of here. You have the ability to change the service severity level. This additional reference number, if you have an internal help desk and they are working with you on this issue, you can put that internal case number here. It is for your benefit only. We don't do any cross-referencing with it. The CC is if you want somebody in your firm to be aware of what's going on, you can put their email address in here. This is where you're going to tell us stuff, you know, either answer a question or you realized after you submitted the case, gosh, I should have included this. That's what you're doing here. You can also add files. And then when you're done, you just click this submit and it goes out. It updates the case. It also sends a notification to the analyst that owns your case that, hey, you've provided us an answer, and there, the status changes to updated by client. Remember, we saw that view all cases option where you can set that for folks to be able to see all the cases. So this drop down, if you pick my organization cases, it's going to show us cases by everybody. So we didn't see Ben in there before, now we do. If it's set to a no, then they can only see their cases. You have the ability to export this view into a CSV if you wanted to do anything in a spreadsheet as far as, you know, tickets that have been entered with Deltek. I do want to point out that when the case is set to a closed status, if you go into it before 7 days have gone by, you actually could update this case. If, however, the case has been closed for more than 7 days, you can open it so you can see what transpired, but you cannot make any changes. You need to open a new case if, in fact, that issue still exists. Within the managed cases, while it's still open, sorry for giving you vertigo, I'm a happy clicker here. If you scroll down, you'll be able to see the thread with your analyst. So this is where we originally submitted. This is us updating. As soon as we would get commentary from the analyst, you would see that their threads would come in and it would tell you who you're working with. Let's see here. The other way that you can work with the support team is chat. So you can get to there through the home page. Remember, that's that second icon. Or we can just go to it from here, from the Manage Cases page. And any place you are in the support center, this main bar goes with you. So you can always use the menu to get to different places. So you will once again pick either application or technical tip. And we'll go ahead and just pick application. In this case, we're working with the Computer Ease product line. Let's see here, actually. We'll click the Start a Chat. If you scroll down, you'll find come Monday morning that tip will be listed down here. And we currently have your chat availability hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, but it will be listed down here as well. Once you've put in your summary, you click the Start Chat. Once again, we try to make it so you don't have to wait on us. So we give you what we think may answer your question. And I see we have a question, so I'll go ahead and take a look. Can cases be filtered by application? We have not done that for your view on the Manage Cases page at this point in time. Just those fields that you have on the, I'll go back to the Manage Cases in a moment, because if you own multiple Deltek products, you would be able to filter by tip or the other product line. So here we are back to submitting our chat. None of these are going to do it for me. So we're going to do finish opening chat. What it's doing is just like that login assistant was doing. It's hooking up and letting the analyst know. This product line happens to be heavily into year-end, but I see Emily was available. So it shows you as soon as your analyst joins you, gives you that information. So you would be typing in your commentary here. I'm going to disconnect so she can work with real clients. But you would have your interaction, and it does create a case as well. So once you get done with this interaction, you would be able to go out to your Manage Cases, which we're going to do right now. And you would see it out there. I close the interaction down, and Emily is aware that I'm just demoing this, so she won't be creating a case for us. But we had just been asked about being able to sort these. So you can actually pick the subproducts. So if I wanted to see, let's see here, let me get into AP. This would show me then that breakdown. Initially, we are only bringing you guys in as QA and SFE. Over time, those submodules will break down, and then yes, you could tailor your Managed Cases view to just those modules. Initially, though, it's going to be just at the high level. So you're going to see, you would be able to pick QA or SFE would be the extent of your breakdown. I'm going to go back to the deck and see what I forgot to tell you. So we went through submitting a case. I didn't click on, but there is a hyperlink that talks about how if you fill your case out, we feel it's the best way for you to do that. It explains maybe just a little bit more some of these fields that don't have the bubble. Chat, we just went through, and that is a very limited set of options when you're picking the specialist you want to talk with. I do want to point out that chat is intended for quick and easy questions, something that we ought to be able to answer in 5 minutes or less. If you need to supply a file to really clarify what you're saying, you should be submitting a case. If you chat with us and we realize it's a more in-depth kind of question that we're going to have to do research on, we will let you know that, and we will go ahead and create the case and then close down the chat and work with you in the other fashion. Case management. So yeah, we went through managed cases, talked about the statuses, talked a little bit about searching. The other thing that you can do is type in some keywords that look at the summary, and that would also be another way to break down the view of managed cases. Oh, I neglected, so I'm glad I'm out here. I neglected to talk with you about the other way to escalate a case. So you'll notice on the managed cases page, we've got this need additional assistance box. This is another way to escalate just to the management team. So you would pick your either TIP QA or SFE. You do need to provide the case number. So you can find that in your view over here. And then you tell us what's not going right. And when you click this submit, this creates an email for the management team to say you need help in this area. A good example of when we see people use this is if you have a team of folks and they've asked you to help them escalate. This is one way you can do that. You can escalate your own cases this way as well, but remember you have that update case satisfaction also. That was worth going back to the deck to make sure I shared that with you guys. We did talk about how if you have the view all cases, you can take a look at everybody's case out there. One thing that we do have the team do when they make case updates, we do have them send you an email because we are aware that some folks, that's just more efficient for you. So you would get an email that looks like this. Two things here. First, you need to make sure that Deltek.com is whitelisted in your environment so you can get these emails from us. And then secondly, if you're going to do your reply by email, do not change that subject line. That's what we use to totally match back to the case. And if you even add an extra space in there, it changes it so that we can't do that one-to-one matching. So what you want to do is just click the reply in your email editor. And then at the top of the thread, you're going to type in whatever your response is. Don't go down into the body of the email and try to do updates. Don't try to remove stuff. Just simply click reply and then start typing at the top of the thread whatever the update needs to be. I see we have a question. Can we see tickets open by, no, you can't see. You can only see the cases that have been opened by your organization. However, that's a really good question, and we'll be taking a look at it in communities. That's where you guys will have the opportunity to talk with one another about different things or share things that you've learned. So no, you can't see cases for other TIP customers. You can only see yours. So that's how you can go ahead and reply by email. As soon as you do that, I mean, you know, you're going to have the lag time of our email getting to you and your exchange getting back to us. But as soon as our system receives and updates, it will change the status of your case to updated by client. And it does let the analyst that owns your case know that you have told us more information. And we went through how you can escalate with that managed cases. I'm going to pop back and share with you how you can make suggestions to engineering. So you want to be on the home page. You'll see in this center section, share your ideas. This is how you will reach out to the engineering team to give them suggestions for product improvement. And it will open a page that will look similar to this. Now, this is where you will be able to see, as time goes on, we'll be moving all of the open enhancement requests to what we call our ideas portal. So eventually you're going to see all of the open suggestions, but you guys will have the ability to vote on different things. And this is the product roadmap for TIP. So the more customer desire to see changes happen, the more votes we see on this, that just will bump things up in line. So this is how you can track things that you have submitted and then promote things that you want to see changing. And you will find that, sorry, this darn thing gets in my way, that bar. You'll see it here in the Connect. You need to be an authorized support contact to be able to log into here. The other thing that we'll go ahead and take a look at right now is communities. Everybody that has access to the support center will be able to get into communities. They'll also be able to get into the knowledge base. This is a pretty standard social media place. We do have rules of engagement, and that's what this first link is. These are, you know, they're common courtesy. If you're, you know, a social media user today, you're used to rules of engagement. If you violate these rules of engagement, we may ban you from the site. I mean, we expect courtesy from the different users. If you're an ASC and you're out here looking for answers and you're not finding it, we give you the ability to submit that case or initiate a chat from within here. If you are not an ASC, you don't see those options. We do give you some suggestions on how to start a good discussion. And then we do a little gamification out here. So we share with you how you can earn points and what that really means. The boards, I mean, you can get in and take a look at everything that's been posted for your product. Obviously on day one, on Monday, there's not going to be any boards out here. So we really encourage you to talk with each other. We will have a Deltek moderator. So if a comment is posted out here and it's a question and nobody answers it within a couple of days, we will come out and engage. But it is your place, so we don't really try to do too much of that. We just want to make sure things don't stay stagnant. So communities, we really encourage you to come out here and use this and, you know, talk with one another. The next thing, and you'll notice that this header board came with us. I'm going to take us back to the support center because now I want to talk about the knowledge base. There's several ways you can get here. You'll always have this box wherever you are on the site. You'd also find it in this Learn section under knowledge base, and you'll find it off of the menu in the Learn section. I'm going to initiate it from here. And remember, we talked about company contact management. There's a KB article 36134 that goes through how you set up a person or disable them for your organization to get into the support center. So you could just type that number here, and what it will do is come back with what it feels are relevant articles. One of the things to note, when you do your lookup off of that search bar, it will take into account all of these repositories. On day one, on Monday the 23rd, we'll have, I think it's like 280 or 300 knowledge base articles that we've built from cases that you've created with us in the past that are still relevant to active versions. So articles, we have a pretty good population. We've not yet moved your documentation, but we will be doing that. We've not yet moved your online help, but we will be doing that. Communities, that will be you guys building that space out. So when you do a search from that main page, it looks through all these repositories, and sometimes that's information overload. If you choose to initiate it from the menu or that knowledge link on the homepage, it just starts it with KB articles. So initially, this really isn't relevant because KB articles are what you're going to be looking at. But over time, you may find that you want to start with a smaller subset. You also can always just pick one of these repositories when you get in here. There's this quick tips. I really encourage you to watch this. It's, I think, a 2.5-minute video that talks about the core functionality of the search and gives you good guidance on getting started. Once you find an article that you think might answer your question, you just click on it. Now, this article is extremely long because it tells you what you're doing when you're adding contacts. Generally, the articles are, much more concise. You get a what's the subject, excuse me for scrolling, giving you vertigo, and then you get the what's the resolution. So for true product things, it's a lot more concise. But what's available once you get through the details are, if you are an ASC and you're not finding your answers, you can initiate a case or a chat from here. Everybody can vote on the articles. And this is important to us because if it's a 1 or a 2, it tells us that the information in the article is either confusing, not helpful, or, just not good. If you rate it as a 1 or a 2, it's going to ask you for your feedback. And then this gets sent to our knowledge administrator. She is very good at what she does. We take this seriously. It also will notify the analyst that created the article, and we will get back to you on either, yes, we fixed it, or no, this was the intent of the article, kind of a thing. If you rate it as a 5, that's also helpful, because it tells us, once again, those best practices. This person does a good job. We should model after them. Also, at the very bottom of the article, you have this subscribe option. This is really handy if it's an article that you want to know when we make an update. So we go through a new version release and we've made some changes to this function, we would update the article. If you subscribe to it, what that will do is send you a notification every time we change it. And you can find all of your subscriptions over, you click on the menu and you will go to the Connect area, go to subscriptions. This will show you all the articles you're subscribed to. So the other thing that's helpful about it is, if this is a process that you do with some frequency, but not every day, so you'd want the steps to get it done correctly, you could subscribe to it and then come out here and open that article so that you don't have to memorize things that you do, but not that you do every day. If over time you no longer want to know about this article, you just click this unsubscribe button and we aren't going to tell you about updates to it anymore. Let me go back to the deck. See what I haven't told you. So we did talk about searching in. This is something that I didn't mention. It's a progressive search. So when you get back into here, if you want to refine your search, so we said post, or I'm going to be doing something with my inventory, that kind of a question. So it started narrowing down the content, but it wasn't exactly what you were looking for. If you continue to type in that search box here, it will take the information that it originally pulled and just keep refining it. But if, and on the other hand, it's like, no, I totally need to start over. If you click this X, it's a fresh start. It's going to look at all those repositories again and go from there. So that's what a progressive search is. And that's how you can, refine what you're looking for. I really encourage you to watch that short little video. It will get you started in the right way with searching. You can filter to refine the different options. You'll also, over time, find you can filter on version and some other things. You have the ability to submit a case or chat, and you can subscribe to articles. That is what I wanted to show you. On Monday, you will be getting an email saying, yes, everything went fine, and you're going to start using the support center. We will also make a change on the TipTech page, directing you over here. If you have folks that will use the support center, but were unable to attend one of these sessions, the email we send on Monday will have a link to a recording, but we'll also put that link out on the TipTech page, the TipTech support page, so that you could have them watch and they would see the information that you've been shown today. I will hang out for a few if you guys have more questions. If not, thank you so much for taking the time to join me. And we're looking forward to Monday. Let's see here. Thank you, Robert. Have a good weekend.